What a beautiful, beautiful day. Not a cloud in the sky. There's the sun. Perfect angle on the solar panels. It is a beautiful day to be outside and working. So, how's everybody doing? Sean here on the Gentry Homestead. We're standing near the creek right now, and the creek needs a lot of work. As a matter of fact, this summer, they're going to be coming out to dredge and tile this creek. We actually have two creeks that come in, are inlets, and then we have one outlet. This creek here and the one that's on the other side of the property both feed into a central location on the back side of our property, and then that goes out to the neighbor's property and heads out to the natural part. Unfortunately, we are in dire need of having this thing dredged. The flow is good coming in, but the flow out is terrible. It's starting to flood our back 40. So the drain commissioner, nice guy, is going to be coming out this summer with some tools, obviously some excavation equipment, and he is going to have this whole thing dredged. He's actually going to start at the natural side, which is about 3 miles from here, and he's going to work his way all the way to this point right here, and he might even go a little bit further. I'm not exactly sure. We are actually right on the northeast corner of the county. You throw a rock that way. In fact, the next road over is the county line. So this is one drainage creek, whatever you want to call it, that has not been touched in forever. They just don't come out this way. It's just so far out on the very corner, but the county is responsible for it, so they will be coming out and they will be working their magic on it. At first I was a little bit hesitant on them coming out because I figured they're going to come out and tear everything up, cut all these trees down, and just wreak havoc. But as it turns out, after talking with the drain commissioner who lives in the area, he's a nice guy, and he said that they will do everything in their power to not just randomly cut trees down. They'll be able to get a machine in here, and they'll have a far reach and be able to get a good portion. Then they'll drive around. They may have to take out a tree or two, but they're going to go after the little ones, not the big ones. And they'll make piles of wood for us so that we can cut it up ourselves and then use it. It's not like they take off with it. So I'm a little bit more optimistic after talking with the drain commissioner, because I was really concerned that they would absolutely destroy what we have right here. But that's not their intention. Their intention is to dredge this out, and that's exactly what they're going to do. I think he's going to go an additional 2 feet on each side. Again, that's all for capacity, but we have to find a way to get rid of the water because it's starting to back up on where these two creeks are collecting. So, but anyway, it is a beautiful day, and we are working today on fencing. Today, we have a dog that actually literally swims across the creek and takes off down towards the neighbors down there. It's really, really annoying. So we are going to be fencing the remaining portion of the front side of our property in. We do have a fence that is right to about that point, and the problem is that she just literally walks down through the creek and just takes off. Now the creek is a little bit low on this side right now, but it's definitely high on the other side. But so we need to fence this in so that she can't do that anymore, because she is causing problems for the neighbors down there. It's annoying. We could always tie her up on a chain, but we'd rather not to. And it also allows us for a little bit more privacy. It's just one of those things that we're looking for. It's not really privacy like you can't see through here, but it's more or less less likely. Not impossible. Nothing is impossible. A determined trespasser is going to figure out a way around fences, but it just allows us to have a little bit more privacy for this area. And I really didn't want to continue this down and then all the way across down there. That's a lot of fence. It's 20 acres that way and 20 acres this way. So that's a lot of fencing that we would have to put up in order to do that. And I'm really not interested, at least not right now. Maybe someday down the road we will be. The previous owner, he actually does have T-posts where he did fence in everything, but it's all fallen down. So it's pretty much worthless. But we're just trying to fence in this portion of the yard right here where the creek, and it's going to butt up with our garden fence, which is over there. We are going to be putting an access gate over there so that I can still get access to this. There's some beautiful trails along here that I've been making. So I want access to those. Yes, you can't just walk right up like we normally can, but this will keep the livestock in. Especially during the fall when they tend to wander more because they're foraging for food as food sources start to dry up, especially with the fields. And we have a new field that they just started working on here. I don't know what it's going to be. It's either going to be corn or maybe beans. I'm not exactly sure, but they just started that. That's brand new. I think it was years ago that they were doing it, but they stopped and now they started up again, which means all of our birds are going to be wanting to wander in that direction, because as soon as they take care of all this, then there's obviously leftovers that the birds seem to smell, so they head in that direction. So having a fence that goes up to the garden will be a great addition and will help keep our animals inside our property line. So that's what I'm working on now. But you know, unfortunately I have a lot of clearing to do. These trees fell over this past actually it was about a year and a half ago that these fell over, and they've just been kind of sitting here. I haven't really been worried about it, but in order for me to have a nice line here that doesn't look ridiculous, I have to start at that end and I have to cut across to about right maybe in this area and then head in that direction over there where it can meet. But I need to clear all this up. It's going to be way easier to clear it now while I have access to it and I can pull the tractor up and yank everything out of there than it is if I try to get it from the other side where it's much more crowded. So that's what I'm doing right now. That way, the rest of it down there that I have to clear up, this will all be out of the way, so I can bring the tractor in there and I can clear it up. But as it stands right now, this has to be removed. You can see some remnants of old fencing that is here, that the previous owner obviously had something going on here. I don't know what, but there's a lot of this everywhere. I mean, all over the property, it's everywhere. It's like you put it up and then just abandon it. So I'm going to be taking all this out. You know, it's a shame that we've lost so many of our trees. I mean, this is it's a great privacy thing where people can't just see from the road what you've got going on in your property, but unfortunately that's just the way it is. We'll probably plant more trees here pretty soon. We've got a bunch of willow seeds that I want to get up to help absorb some of the water. I'd love to have willow trees all over the property to help soak up some of this water. They're very good for that. So that is the goal, but one thing at a time, $1 at a time. That's basically how it is. So yeah, I'm going to go through and I'm going to clear all this up here so that I don't have to worry about it later. When we do have the fence up, it'll give me more room as well. And yeah, I'm cutting some nice trails along the creek. I've got this weird fantasy of family just walking the trails through the creek. I don't know. It's weird because when I was a young kid and whenever I was on any property or anything else like that, and I was just amazed at some of the people that they've cut all these trails, and it's a beautiful walk, especially in the summer when all the leaves are on and things like that. Or you could take a walk at night with the peepers. They're just starting up. Here we are almost to April and they're just starting up again. So it'd be nice to be able to walk at night through these trails and hear the peepers. So anyway, I got my work cut out for me. I got to bring the bush hog out here. It is a little bit wet in this area here, so I don't think I'm going to do that today, but I will be doing that here probably in a couple weeks. There is some water that's filling up, and with this new tractor, all that weight being on that tricycle front end, it likes to sink. I got stuck in the backyard once already. Did manage to get myself unstuck, but it's a pain in the butt. So if it's even a little bit soft, I try now now that I've learned a valuable lesson, I try not to bring the tractor in. I am going to be swapping the wheels out. They're 7.5 by 16s, I think, or 15s that are on my other tractor that are much bigger than those, and I'm going to be swapping those out because with all this weight I need something that makes the front end a little more buoyant, and I cannot put a wide front end on this with the front end loader. I just can't do it. You can see it would be impossible because this drops all the way to the ground. So unless I modified this in some way to be able to accommodate, which would be a lot of work, I'm just going to leave it as is. Tricycle front end, it's fine. I know the horror stories about tipping them over and things like that, and I get it, but I've had the other tractor going for a while now. I've got experience. I'm not a pro, but I'm very cautious where I go to make sure. And you know, the added benefit of having the front end loader on there is that you know, it does make it have a little bit of width there that will catch if the tractor starts to tip a little bit. But again, I don't get myself in those situations. So at any rate, I think it's time to get to work while we've got this awesome high noon sun right now. Not a cloud in the sky. Absolutely beautiful. A little bit on the chilly side, but that's fine. It's going to be warming up this week, but it's going to be raining. April showers bring May flowers, and so we've got a lot of rain in our forecast, which isn't going to help with the soft ground anyway, but you know, it is what it is. So I'm figuring that I'm going to take today and do all this stuff because tomorrow's going to be cloudy and a little bit more miserable, so I can do my stuff inside, but take care of the outside stuff now while it's beautiful. So spring is definitely feeling like it's here, and I'm excited to get outside and work on some projects while I have the time. So anyways, there you have it. We are heading to our project. The new fence is going up, and I'm going to take all of these trees out right here. Just literally drag them out with the tractor, and then I can cut them up where I need to, and kind of clean all this area up here. Bring the bush hog over here, mow it all down really good, make sure everything's all nice and clean, and then we can start working on our fence. So I do love this tractor. It needs a little bit of work. Like I said, the tires, the rear tires are kind of small. The front tires are kind of small, but it's fine. It's doing a good job so far. So lots of fun. Anyway, I think we'll cut it out here. Everybody have a great day and take care.